Middle Island is so named because the early pioneers had no imagination. Scotty Island is immediately to the west. Its history includes mines, farms, and one of the, if not the earliest land patents, namely the Draper location, which dates to 1905, I believe. It also has an excellent public beach. Hay Island, to the east of Middle, has a long mining history and is closely associated with Big Stone Bay. In between these two islands is, of course, Middle Island. It too has an interesting history, with a brothel at Heaps Point, a mine on what is now the Riley property, the Sunrise Villa tourist camp, and a close proximity to Smuggler's Cove and Balancing Rock. So, of course, it's named Middle. We have already described a number of cruises around Middle. So this time, let's go so that we encircle Hay. We start out leaving the mooring and mast buoys behind. This rock is in the channel between Middle and Scotty. It almost always has some variety of birds resting on it. Our route takes us northeast to Heaps Point on Middle, north of the Hades Islands and on to Heenan Point, the northmost part of Hay Island. This is the way we go when we go to Pine Portage Bay. This rock is off Heenan Point. Directly to the north is Needle Point, a long narrow piece of mainland that forms the east side of Pine Portage Bay. The 2 points serve as the mouth of Big Stone Bay. Older maps had the name switched, but as Terry Lenny pointed out to me, the mine on Hay was Heenan Mine, and the needle-like shape of the other point indeed describes it. The map makers now agree, and my current map has them labeled correctly. At Heenan Point, we turn southeast to travel the length of Big Stone Bay. The north side is mostly mainland, a good portion of which has been ripe for development. All that is needed were roads, which came readily with the demand for summer retreats. The depth numbers for the bay, of over 100 feet, are the deepest for our area of the lake. The depth finder on the Catherine B agreed. At a bit less than 8 knots, it took a while to traverse the bay. Hay Island is only an island because of Eagle Pass, and that's where we were headed. As a boy, I remember stories of a huge muskie in Eagle Pass, so big that a scuba diver who spotted it had to back off. Gospel, I'm sure. From the looks of the shoreline, Anne did not believe there was a pass, but I had the map and I assured her there was. When you first enter, you think it might be a bay, but it eventually opens up. We did find that there was actually a camp right in Eagle Pass. You can hear my comments about it as we go on here. They've got a good harbor. Moore Bay coming up. Look at that there. We have basically kept Hay Island on our starboard side. And now that we are in Moore Bay, we do the same thing. We've covered most of this territory on our cruise to Moore Bay. When we reached home, we had circled 2 large islands and threaded our way through the narrow opening at Eagle Pass.